Hello everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the event objectives for the Freaky Fairy event, so let's get into that. First, let's start off all the way from the bottom. We do have to kill Elves and Explore. This is a little bit annoying because Elves are one of the fewest types within the game. There's only 3 kingdoms where they really reside. The main kingdom you'll want to be going to search for them is the Explore in Silverglade. This one will normally have a few, sometimes it even has 0, but there are barely any that are actually available. Zolkari is a pretty good one. This time we happen to get that 0 again, but there are quite a few elves in there, and also Forest of Thorns ends up getting a couple as well. For the most part, you'll want to head over to Silverglade though, as generally that one will have the most for the objectives. As far as what you would actually get into, since elves are so hard to actually battle and explore, I would say just go up to the gems. You can get a free epic, of course, as with every week it's Elwyn, though you don't really need Elwyn for the most part, as Ranger early on in the game is pretty much just as strong, if not stronger, so you can just stick with a Ranger and you don't really need to worry much about Elwyn unless you don't have him already, in which case you could just do the Pansville Kingdom, or you can just do this 100 points and get 3 extra copies of him, maybe to get him up to Legendary or Mythic. So we have 2 other things now. We have, of course, the full 50% for the, 25% for Wild Plains, and 25% for Wild Folk, and 25% for Pansvale this week. So quite a few troops within the kingdom do have 50%, and there's also something that synergizes with it. If you use a full team of Pansvale this week, it will gain 20 additional souls. This isn't really worth doing constantly, as this would give you very little souls compared to actually using a soul farmer. There's nothing within the entire kingdom that can actually farm you souls, so you're better off just actually using a troop that can farm souls and kind of just ignoring this for the week. But we will show a team or 2 that we can kind of do around this. One other thing to note for the chest this week is there is 2 legendaries within the drop pool. The Bunny Nog, which is around Easter time. He was actually introduced during one of the Easters, and there's also the Silent one in there. Both of them are towards the weaker side, so you really do not need to use event keys this week. I would say save them for a later time. I will be showing a Silent one team right after this though. So let's go into our first team, see what we are up against. Ooh, Kraken. Kraken keeps trolling me on videos, but we'll throw this down. Our 100% Pan. We're going to be using a double Salvasi, this Zara Magician, and the Faunessa. Everything on this team does gain a 50% bonus this week. This also counts for the additional 20 souls that we will be getting for using an all Pansville kingdom. So we'll get that as well on top of our bonus. So pretty decent attack. Fun fact for any of you that don't know, Savasi was actually the first event troop ever added to Gems of War, so he's pretty old. Actually, he's the oldest event troop, actually, so yeah. Fun fact. Anyways, we'll just take the skull. He's kind of like a single target Gloomleaf in a way. It does have a convert. I actually completely forget which color it is. I believe it's blue to purple, right? Yeah, transforms all blue to purple. Don't have alignment on that. So we'll just move that down. Let's see. We can do damage based on their attack right here. I guess we'll throw that down. Nothing on this team has a particularly high attack, but we'll just get that off. We already had it on the Empowered, so we might as well get rid of it. I do want to try getting one of these abilities up before I just cast the initial one. Would also love if we could get alignment on it, though it doesn't look like we're going to be able to. So we'll just take a little bit of mana and go on from there. There really isn't too much synergy within Pansvale to its own kingdom, so definitely a little bit hard to try to build anything for this week if you're trying to do that. So we'll go and steal pretty much all of its attack right here. We will get some purples, which we'll kind of use, but we'll just take that for ourselves. We have another attack reduction that we can do if we want, which can bring another one of them basically down to 0 attack. As you can see right there, he did absolutely nothing from the skull, as we have reduced him down to nothing. I guess I'll kind of hold this one unless we actually get alignment, in which we barely do. So we'll just take a pair right here. I guess we'll take it on purple, as that will be some damage. The only slightly bad thing is we will have to use her before we reduce down all the armor, or all the attacks, or else we won't be able to use her attack reduction. So right here, we'll just do that there. So now we can't, if we want to, we can't no longer target out that one's attack, since it doesn't have any anymore, but we can still keep targeting down the famine. So we'll do just that. He's about to cast anyways on us, so we'll take our mana next turn after he does his little drain. So we'll let him do his thing, and we'll start trying to get up our Magician. hopefully get all of his mana so we can silence both of them. There's only 2 left, so it'll definitely hit both of them for the silence, as well as doing a decent amount of damage to them. There's also no hero class as of currently for Pan's Veil, so you're kind of just stuck using either a magician spam of some kind, or kind of just hoping to get extremely high attack like what I was initially trying to do, and then kind of just plow them down one by one. I kind of went that way, though if we could get skulls, that'd be amazing. One interesting thing about this team is we can reduce down their casting ability and their skulls basically down to 0, because we can silence them, which disables their ability to cast, as well as we have the follow-up of being able to reduce down their attack to 0, so they won't be able to use skulls, nor will they be able to use their ability from not being able to cast. So right here, I'm mainly just looking for all of the yellows and browns. Going to be needing it for our musician. I'm also looking for any skull whatsoever would be great, so we can actually start killing them. Because anything else we're doing is kind of just tapping them at this point. So we'll just keep doing that. I'm deliberately not stealing his attack, just so we have something to keep targeting for our damage on the Faunessa. So that's why we're keeping him there. So one more cast like that will be enough. Oh, he gets an extra turn off of that. Doesn't look like we'll get any alignment either, so we can't try filling it up. Okay, so we'll go for a yellow right here, then into the brown. He is unsilenced, so we do have to worry about his mana now. As long as we can get him re-silenced, we should be good to go. Actually, the amount of damage from the ability will be enough to kill him. So all we have to do now is just silence and then poke it with a skull, and we are good to go. That also makes sure that the giant spider doesn't make a little spiderling, a little spider spawn, which could be annoying since we'd have to kill that too, but it shouldn't be able to since we have it silenced. So right here we do get mana for it, but we have reduced its attack to 0, so we can't actually use that mana. We'll just take this and hope for a skull. We don't get it, but hopefully within the next few we will. Come on. Oh, so close. Okay, so no way we can use that, no way we can drop it into anything. If he could take these yellows, that would be amazing. I don't know if I could actually lure him to do so. Let's see. Take those yellows. Nope, he goes for the green. Oh, nope, the green still does the same thing. So we'll poke it out with a skull. And yeah, that's all Pan's Veil. I would not advise doing this. You can see we do get that additional 20 souls from using a whole Pan's Veil team. Definitely is by no means doing a full Pan's Veil team, because for one, you have to do it in PvP, and the other reason is it's just so slow. If we compared to just using a Valkyrie or a Dragon Soul, or really anything else that gives souls, would be more sufficient than, or efficient than what we just did. So yeah, don't really try building an all Pan's Veil team, not really advised. But let's go now into, ooh, a bit of an annoying team. Never really seen that matchup before, but we're going to be trying it with a Silent One related team. I'm not going to be doing a video for the Bunny Nog or the Silent One this week, as they aren't really used much in teams as of currently. But of course, Silent One is one of the troops that is within the event key drop pool. No need to really use event keys unless you're just kind of getting him for completionist purposes. But it does have Water Link, which helps get his ability up a little bit quick. Demonic Pact is almost unused, and it does place silence whenever it does skull damage. Relatively weak legendary trait as well, and all it does on its ability is silences all enemies as well as itself. While silencing itself may seem like a disable, and in most often than not, it is a disable to itself. Just to make sure it can't keep silence spamming. You can use, there's two things that you can do with this. For one, you can use a cleanse, such as a mercy, to fill it up, and then that will cleanse off the silence on it, plus give all of its mana back. You can also do this similarly with a Herdmaster. But what I'm going to be doing this for in this particular team is a double yellow. We're going to be utilizing it with a humility. Essentially what we're going to be trying to do is getting Alchemist up quickly, using that into Silent One, and then having Silent One cast. This will allow us to get humility. Since Silent One will have all of its mana blocked, all of our yellow mana will go straight into our humility, so we can then start looping with that. We'll also be able to use the boost ratio on him, since he does have a 4 times boost based on every single silenced enemy. If you don't have a Draculus, you can do a Crimson Bat as well. If you don't have a Crimson Bat, you can do pretty much any troop there that hits all enemies, though a true damage that hits all of them would be more sufficient. But we'll just go for this, see what happens. He does have a lot of disable on his team. He could kill us with a bunch of death marks, because the only thing that has immunity on this particular team that we have is our Draculus. So unless our Draculus really gets going, He's just going to disable us like crazy. We can take a skull right off the bat, and I think I will because I just noticed now that it is using the assassin class. We do not want that triggering and just randomly killing our Draculas. This entire team is built around that Draculus, so I actually need to focus really hard on killing out that hero because we do not want it doing anything. One pretty nice thing about Silent One, though, is it does have a pretty high base attack, especially with the extra 25% that it has from this week from the Pansville Kingdom. So, as I said earlier, we are going to want to try getting Alchemist up as immediately as possible. We'll be able to do that in one more turn simply by taking these reds. Hopefully, we won't give them skulls of any kind. Okay, that was close. Almost. Nope, don't drop it. Don't. Okay, good. Do we have alignment? Doesn't look like it. We have it on purple. We can do a pair. Brown, we can do a double pair. I'm just going to go for a skull, though, for now. Play it safe. Kill out the hero. No more assassinates. If we could get a skull right now, that'd be amazing because we'd be able to silence right into that and actually be able to use it. Unfortunately, that does not appear to be possible off of anything on the board currently, so we'll just do this on brown. That'll give us 3 different pairs that we'll be able to use, and now it'll take a skull and we'll be able to silence it just in time. One other fun fact about silence, because it's not really a stats effect that is used too much these days, but if you silence a troop at full mana and then use something like a Queen Mab that has mana burn to burn their mana, it'll lock whatever mana they have in play. So like if we were to silence and we had like a Queen Mab somewhere on our team, we'd be able to lock her in at a 15 mana cost and then spam the Queen Mab at her. That's another strategy that you can do with Silent One. I don't see it used that often because it takes a lot to set it up, because you need 29 mana, plus likely a Valkyrie, because you'll need the 14 mana for your Silent One, and then you'll need, of course, the full 15 mana for your Queen Mab as well. But that is another combo that you can end up doing with it. So, yeah, we will go for the silence right here. That'll make sure it can't cast its ability. As soon as it becomes unsilenced, it will probably cast it immediately. It just took the turn I wanted to do, and now it left us with no yellow, so that's a bit unfortunate. We will just go and start getting our Valkyrie back up. I'm actually hoping that my Silent One stays silenced, as weird as that may seem, mainly because our mana now goes straight into our Humility, which will allow him to start looping if we could ever get a adequate board to do so. So we'll just move that over. We'll take that down. If he doesn't take it, gosh, AI, stop getting smarter. So he takes the other good move, so that's a bit unfortunate. He did not, actually we don't even use purple, so it's impossible for us to be frozen on that. Good. We can re-silence with a skull, and we're going to do just that. I can take Alchemist right here, but I don't think I'm going to go for it. I am going to take it this way, though, just so in case he tries denying the brown for whatever reason, we still had a red pair that we could have taken. So that's why we took it that way. We'll just take this brown up the top, hope for a blue, don't get it. But hopefully we can get a nice Alchemist there. We're not frozen on that color. It did just cleanse at, I guess, a perfect time, because now we'll be able to just redo the silence, as well as start to get into our Humility. So ideally right here, he will not end up going for any yellow off the board. We still got the turn there because our initial swipe was an extra turn, even though the second one was frozen. As long as you get at least one extra turn in it, it'll be fine. So he's going to tap us for a skull. We're just going to re-silence it, and this will be able to have Humility start going on a full silence team, or at least however much is left. So we just got our cleanse, so we can just take that. And since we are silenced on blue on our Silent One, that is strategically working for us, since we just got all of our blue into our Draculas. We can cast them now, but we're just going to try going and getting Humility on loop. Of course, we get magic on the most useless thing it could have possibly magicked, which is our Silent One. Silent One, and technically Alchemists don't really use magic. Silent One doesn't use it whatsoever, and Alchemist only uses it for gold, which has basically no effect because we'll pretty much always reach the max gold regardless when we have an Alchemist in the team. Just casting it once is pretty much enough, even if you don't have bonus. But this is essentially what we do. We just keep looping this. Ideally, we would get a magic buff on whatever our full AoE troop is that will hit all the enemies. In this case, we didn't end up getting that, but ideally we would, and then we could just cast that ability to win. Though it seems this time around we'll have to go a skull-oriented way, in which we're just killing off the skulls. Can he stop getting attacked? He's like 123 attack already now. That would be fine if we got it on first slot. But we'll just keep doing this. Hopefully it'll land correctly. Really don't have any other mana we need to take. I guess we'll take that, just try to get more yellow and skulls on the board. Just keep spamming this until we win, and then we're good to go. Still no magic. I mean, yeah, still no magic. figures. We get magic on everything except the one troop that I wanted on. And there it goes again on the troop that's useless with magic. And I think at this point we can just turn them out with skulls, so we'll do just that. And see, we didn't even need a Draculus. You don't need a mythic or a legend there. We end up doing that just with Silent One, surprisingly. Silent One, Humility, and Alchemist did all of that, so I wouldn't really advise doing a team off of just skulls like that. You technically can win many times, but if they have like a Gorgotha or Stone Skin, it can be delayed a lot. We were lucky enough in the team that we were up against right there did not have any kind of skull reduction that really got in the way, which did allow us to do that battle. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. Not too interesting of a event objectives this week, as many of them are either too hard to realistically do or just not worth the time that you'll have to put in. So that's a bit unfortunate. We are getting, of course, the new Mythic this Friday, so hopefully that will be a bit more exciting. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and have a wonderful day.